likes to this videos? If we make 5,000 likes to this video, we will upload more patriotic news. Thank you. Breaking: Greta Van Susteren got a new job. At least for now, it's settled. Since MSNBC canned Greta Van Susteren, she has been getting all chatty on Twitter contemplating her next move, which thankfully has arrived. USC's Annenberg Center is bringing her aboard, where she'll work with students, appear on USC panels and produce books, journalism and academic projects, the center announced Thursday. In late June, MSNBC fired Van Susteren less than 6 months after she began hosting a 6 p.m. show there. They replaced her slot with a new show by Ari member. Before that, Van Susteren worked at Fox News for 14 years as host of On the Record. She resigned in the fall of 2016, saying she hadn't felt at home at the network for a few years. But maybe this new fellowship isn't the end-all for Van Susteren. On Thursday, when a follower suggested he'd buy Fox News and let her run it, she replied, "I would love to run a news organization. Having been labor for 25 seconds, I have some ideas about how management can improve news orgs." Another fan called her a breath of honesty and said she'd be missed on cable news. GVS left the door open more than crack, saying, "I may be back. If the right opportunity comes along. If not, there are many exciting things to do in the world." Melania Trump announces first solo foreign trip as First Lady. Melania Trump has been a great First Lady. She has performed with a grace and elegance one would expect from such a beautiful and accomplished woman. But she is about to break the mold and take her first solo trip as First Lady. Advertisement: The White House just announced that Melania Trump will lead the U.S. delegation to this year's Invictus Games. The Games, which will be held in Toronto from September 23 through September 30. The Invictus Games were started in 2014 by Britain's Prince Harry. They are very special for one reason. They are open to men and women who served their nation's armed forces and were injured in combat. The Wounded Warriors Olympics, if you will, and is a great stop for Melania's first solo trip abroad. The Games have about 550 men and women from 17 nations competing in Paralympic-style activities including swimming, cycling, wheelchair basketball and wheelchair rugby. In just 2 short years, the Invictus Games have allowed thousands of injured and wounded servicemen and women from many different countries to participate in adaptive sports competitions, something that should be lauded and supported worldwide. "I am honored by the opportunity to represent our country at this year's Games," Melania Trump said. "I was heartened by the great success of the inaugural Invictus Games that took place in London in 2015, and the second Games in Orlando, Florida, last year," she added. "This isn't the first time Melania has paid homage to our wounded warriors. She visited them at Walter Reed Hospital in April, where she said, 'I, too, am a mother. However, I have no idea what kind of different challenges each of you must face as the parent of a soldier. And while you stand with many other parents so strong and so proud, I am sure that you sometimes march on this journey alone,' she told the soldiers and their parents. Advertisement: Share this if you think this is the perfect place for Melania to take as her first solo trip. Reba McEntire's powerful new song will destroy every single Trump hater in America. Reba McEntire is one of the best country singers known to the music industry. She just released a new song which sends a message to liberals everywhere. "'Cause we're still worth saving, we can't go on like this and live like this, we can't love like this, we gotta give this world back to God," Reba sang in her new song called "Back to God." This is an incredibly powerful message that needs to be heard everywhere, now more than ever. We have so much hate in the country because of the last election. Americans are burning flags, dishonoring our military and police officers, rioting in the streets, and wishing death on our newly elected president. Clearly, we do need to get this country back to God. But, liberals today are too cool to believe in God. They don't want to conform to one belief. And yet, most liberals do believe the same thing, that God does not exist and that there is nothing after death. That's fine, No one is going to force you to be religious. But, why discriminate against Christians? And, why deny that there are any good lessons to be learned from faith? The liberals shout out facts of the universe, as if we don't know them, and ask us to explain the way the Bible fits into it. Well, the Bible was written thousands of years ago by people who didn't understand the universe half as well as we do today, so there are going to be things in the Bible that don't make a lot of sense. There are also a lot of things in the Bible that make more sense than any philosophy I've heard a liberal argue. The Bible advocates for peace, love, and forgiveness. It puts an emphasis on life, family, and community, something our divided nation desperately needs. Thankfully, Donald Trump is going to be bringing God back into this country. He made it okay to say Merry Christmas again. He's put the Lord back in our Pledge of Allegiance. This is fitting. After all, this country was built on the foundation of faith. And we need to go back to our roots. This new respect for faith won't change the beliefs of the liberals, and that's okay, because it will strengthen the core values of this country. I believe that, in their hearts, are lost liberals raking for the kind of values my faith gives me. When our faith erodes, these values erode, and that spells disaster for the country. As Rebus says, you gotta get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead, you gotta keep on praying. With a little more faith, and a little more respect for faith, the turmoil and division in this country will die down. This country will unite under our president. What do you think about Rebus' song and how it pertains to America right now? Please share the story on Facebook and tell us because we want to hear your voice. Breaking: Jeff Sessions will treat sanctuary cities like criminals. The Justice Department, led by Attorney General Jeff Sessions, is now going to treat sanctuary cities the way they deserve to be treated, like the criminals they are. Robert Hur made a statement against sanctuary cities Thursday, speaking on the threat of criminal gangs like MS-13. Finally, we are also holding sanctuary cities accountable for their lawless conduct, Hur told reporters at a White House briefing Thursday. The Attorney General will not allow sanctuary cities to become sanctuaries for criminals. Advertisement: Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency top dog, Acting ICE Director Thomas Homan, also chimed in at the meeting and called the cities a criminal's best friend. Homan was very adamant about ICE doing what they need to do to enforce the laws on the books regarding illegal immigration. He even brought up the future border wall as one more tool in the toolbox. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is a very devout supporter of enforcing the immigration laws, is very adamant about punishing sanctuary cities. He is vowing to withhold millions of dollars in federal funds originally directed to those cities. This is what the American people should be able to expect from their cities and states, Sessions said, adding that the measures are long overdue requirements that will help us take down MS-13 and other violent transnational gangs, and make our country safer. This is exactly what we needed. We need the liberals to learn their place, and they need to learn that their social experiments have no place in American law. Illegal immigration is illegal. I'm not sure how that is so confusing for the left. Law is law, don't break the law. There is a reason loads of criminals or liberals, they don't think the laws apply to them. It's actually quite pathetic. Advertisement: What do you think of Jeff Sessions being a driving force behind getting rid of the sanctuary city? Trump's border wall has one new feature that enrages Mexico. Of all the wonderful things that President Donald Trump says and does, liberals are particularly triggered by his promise to build a wall on the Mexican border. Liberals hate the idea of a border wall for two reasons. First, it hurts their precious feelings. They get sad when they realize that people need to be deported in order for us to live in a nation of laws. In their minds, America is a magical place filled with candy and unicorns, where everyone is allowed to just hop in and get free stuff. Little do they know that the real world does not work this way, and that this mentality has devastated our economy. Second, and perhaps most importantly, liberals hate the wall because they know that its existence would shrink a valuable Democratic voting bloc. Millions of illegal immigrants vote for Democratic candidates. Whether it's because they are forced to by local politicians or because they truly support the liberal platform, illegals vote en masse for Democrats. Since Democrats have come to rely on illegal support to win elections, they bend over backwards to grow the illegal population. They know that any plan to restrict illegal immigration would hurt their electoral chances, and thus they oppose the wall. As a result, liberals were quick to celebrate when the administration announced that it would delay plans to build a wall. They got so carried away with excitement that they even made fun of the president and his supporters for believing that such a project could be completed in the first place. Now, however, the joke is on them. As reported by Fox News, the agency in charge of U.S. border security plans to start building prototypes for President Trump's proposed wall with Mexico later this summer. Ronald V. Diello, Customs and Border Protection's acting deputy commissioner, said Tuesday that 4 to 8 companies will get contracts for prototypes in San Diego that could be models for the roughly 2,000-mile border. Companies will have 30 days to complete the models. Watch this video about a possible wall prototype. It looks like we will get our wall, and it looks like it will be better than anyone expected. Leave it to President Trump to take a construction project and make it even better. Most people expected the wall to consist of simple concrete slabs. Trump, on the other hand, wants only the best. That is why he is open to a more innovative wall, which contains solar panels and other fascinating high-tech features. Of course, Mexico cannot be happy about this, watching their rich high-tech neighbor come up with solutions that will allow them to keep out illegals and make money back while they are at it. All while they still worry that Trump will penalize them on trade for the way they have hurt America's economy all these years. Regardless of the wall's exact nature, Americans should be ecstatic that a wall will end up being built. Our southern border has been wide open for far too long. Millions of individuals, including criminals, gang members, and terrorists, have entered the United States by simply passing over some bushes or a small wire fence. Once they arrive here, they sell drugs and commit other crimes. Even non-criminal illegal immigrants cause problems by taking jobs and receiving welfare benefits. This must come to an end if we ever want to fix our broken economy and culture. Fortunately, President Trump is committed to making America great again. It looks like now we will finally get to build the